Hello, this is Men Supporting Women, and we have another beautiful topic. Usually, it's our tradition to give you something that you will always think about. Today, we want to specially talk about impact of patriarchy on men and women. Never forget, I cannot do this without Mr. Lugard Okonobo, the supporter of women globally. I don't want to forget that global at all. I didn't try to forget it at all.
That's now our trademark.
So today I want to talk about the impact of patriarchy, and we want to look at the positive and the negative side. The positive side and the negative side. Now you're going to tell me, what is it? Let's not dive into the bad one. What is the positive part of patriarchy?
Yeah, first of all, we need to understand what patriarchy is all about. Patriarchy, simply put, in layman's language, age-long traditions that exist in our communities, in our society, that set the standards that guides our daily life as male and female. Going forward, we've seen very divergence of patriarchy in different communities, cutting across tribes, religions, and also belief system. If you are from the north, you will notice that in the marketplace you have more men. You see the men going to sell pure water sometimes.
Yeah,
You see the men selling pepper, selling salt, selling most things that you will naturally see the women do in the southern part of Nigeria. And that is based on the belief system that the man is entitled, or the man is supposed to be the head of the home to feed his family. And so for the man to feed his family, he must go out to work.
Okay.
He must go out to trade, buy, sell, while the woman takes care of the children at home. And that also does not take the woman from supporting the man. So they only play that supporting role from behind.
Okay, now from your utterances, you have given us the positive part of it. You understand, patriarchy, like we said, is a system where men are being given that primary power to dominate socially, culturally, traditionally, politically. You understand? Primarily, they've given them that power to do that. But I believe that has some negative and that has some positive. And like you said, the positive one is that men, have to have this consciousness. I need to go and work hard, to take care of my family. And some person started from the younger version. Like me in my tribe, you see that men go out even before they get married to work hard for their younger ones. So that notion is already there. But aside that, some persons have also misinterpreted this. Sometimes things can be abused if not well guided. Now, this patriarchy, what are those negative practices? I believe it was instituted for positive reason. There are some cultural reasons, like in places like Enugu State, whereby once you get married traditionally, in some part, right? If you, a woman, become unfaithful, you can go mad. The day I heard it, I had to ask, what will also happen to the man? No, I had to ask, and they said nothing. I said, but they are being unfair. They said the reason for that is that they feel that if in a home, if a woman gets it wrong, it can easily affect the children. So their intention for that is that every woman, as you get married, you just have to be a role model for the future generation. You just have to be a role model. Even when the man is getting it wrong, the woman should not get it wrong because they are the pillar. So that was the positive mindset. Now, what is the negative part of it? Because I believe this whole thing has given birth to some negative mindset. So what are those negative impact of patriarchy?
Well, in my own tradition, my village, if a woman goes out to have an affair with another man, the woman comes home to cook for the man likely to fall sick and die. In some instances, it affects the business of the man. Everything starts crashing. In some instances, the children may just get convulsion overnight. And in some instances, strange happenings just begin to manifest in the family. And like as I said earlier, that these activities that are now institutionalized, they are not just there, they were being backed by some ancestral manipulations and established divinations.
Yeah.
Just like you said, that you ask if a man does it, nothing happen. If a woman, and I now ask, can the man have it alone? The man cannot have it alone. The man goes for another woman. Look at the triangle. This is somebody's wife.
Yeah.
This is somebody's wife.
Yes.
This is the man's wife, and this is the man here.
Yes.
The man goes after another person's wife.
Yeah.
And it affects the man.
Yeah.
And nothing happens to the man. Yes. And another man goes after his wife. And
nothing will happen to the man.
Nothing happens to the man. So it affects to the man. So you can see that it's just one-sided and shallow-minded.
Yeah.
The man does it, it affects the woman, and that affects the husband. And the man who went for that act feels that, oh, because his wife. So if it not happens to the wife, it also happens to him. So why create such an imbalanced system that also have a ripple effect also? So the best is avoid it. Because what goes around turns around.
Yeah.
So that means, in short, from an analysis I gave to you, it means that such orchestration that led to such established institutions needs to be avoided. It needs to be avoided so that we don't have a recurrence of death, because the man that goes after, if another person goes after his own wife, it affects him, affects the children. The same way it affects the children and the husband of the other person that he went after. So that becomes a ripple cycle. It goes round.
And to me, like you said before, religion, if you decide to go
Yes,
into religion,
of course.
just go into it, because I think this one has more of negative effect.
Good.
It's more negative than that of the positive side of it.
Go to those villages where you see those tradition. They don't grow.
Yeah.
They don't develop.
I believe you.
They live in darkness. So this, and that brings us, though I'm not trying to promote, we are secular here, but I want to say, for those of us who believes in Christianity, our belief simply says that these are spiritual orchestration that affect the destinies of people, and so those things needs to be abolished. We need to pray against them. We need to break such foundation. We need to break away from such things. So patriarchy has a lot of negative effects because it affects the psychology of the person who is exhibiting and promoting it.
Yeah.
It does not allow for growth because the person is not growing. The world is going this direction, he is going this direction. And just imagine we are talking of AI looking forward, and the other man is saying, "I saw my grandpa man." So it's a backward integration for life, and people are moving forward. You are thinking backwards to now think of how you can move forward. Then you also have not being able to place priority right, because you say, "Now so they did one, now so they did one."
It has to just be conventional way of doing things.
So we are emerging. Things are emerging, and we are beginning to think backwards now.
So now, is there any way? Because if you find out, despite the level of civilization, some persons still believe in that thing. Is there any way we can drive messages home to at least begin to make a little change? Because sincerely, some persons believe in that, despite the invention of AI.
I would say, I was with somebody yesterday. He said something. He said, the religion of the wealthy people in the society is money. He said the language of the wealthy people in this society is money. He said the political party of the wealthy persons is money. And that is why you see when the politicians are sharing money, you don't hear any noise, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of their religion. So what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of us had under patriarchy to exhibit control that will assist them to mold people to be pushed to one side at their own advantage. So what we've seen is the use of patriarchy to determine and control people for their personal gain.
And that's why the change could be difficult
today
at
you
times.
can see, if we are talking of election and they say, no, our religion saying as so, our tribe saying as this is what we have agreed. And before you know, we saw the last election, people go to Catholic because they have one party, another one go to the mosque because they have this. So if you go and check the root of all those things, they all have some patriarchal influence. But today, the same people who said it's labor, it's mama, papa, picking, they are all decamping in the house of God. Almost every day, every sitting, you have people decamping. So the question you ask, what happened to the belief system they had before? At the altar of money, they are all the same. At the place of money, they are all the same. And so, it's for the benefit of those on top at the detriment of those at the bottom. So most of the times, I'm saying here that patriarchy has been used to the disadvantage of the disadvantaged in the society and for the advantage of those who have been privileged to be at the top.
Wow. Patriarchy has been used as an advantage for the disadvantage, right? No,
for those who are being privileged to be at the top. And has been used as a disadvantage for those who are disadvantaged in our society.
Wow. And I feel this is why to make the change will be difficult.
Yeah, because whenever they want to have their way, they bring in and start going back to go and uproot all those things and throw it before us. And because politics is grassrooted, those grassrooted are already used to those beliefs and agreement and all whatever. It's already in their psyche. So they use it at the advantage. And once they climb, they drop it. When they come back another 4 years again, they go back to it again.
This is really deep. Yeah. Honestly, you've said it all.
So women are not supposed to be. I mean, we saw the case of Adamawa State where a woman contested. Yeah. And I remember very well meeting a journalist said, no matter how this woman try, the whole Lamido of Adamawa will come bow down to a woman as a governor. That singular thing alone was like a decision in the palace. Nobody should vote for it. And we saw how the election was being contested from left, right, back, and center. That's part of the patriarchy we are seeing.
Thank you very much. In fact, I feel so cold because it's like you actually said the truth about the whole thing. Some persons are benefiting from this, but of course, if we want to make the change must always start from ourselves. Remember, this is men supporting women. Don't forget to subscribe for more.